This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs.
I know, I'm doing another Last of Us Part 2 challenge. But before we start the video, I feel like there is something we need to address. In my previous Last of Us Part 2 gaming challenge, I said something that probably deeply upset many of my viewers. And that was that I would likely not be doing another gaming challenge video.
Alright, good night everybody. I'm probably not gonna do anything like this ever again.
And to be honest, I had every intention of not making another gaming challenge video. That was until I saw this. I can clearly tell what you guys prefer to watch. That is why today I am going to be attempting a challenge so hard, so grueling, so rigorous, that as far as I can tell, no one else has even attempted it yet. Can you beat The Last of Us Part 2 without crouching? Now, for anyone who hasn't played the game or knows what video games are in general, crouching is when you hit the circle button on the controller. That makes your character do this. So basically, I've taken the stealth out of this stealth-based game. Because, well, I hate myself. But I was never really that good at stealth anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess. So before we hop into this, let's just quickly establish the ground rules I followed in this run. Obviously, I'm not allowed to crouch. That also includes crawling. Cutscenes do not count. But I also made a rule that I'm not allowed to craft, heal, or place traps due to the fact that if I do these things, Ellie, and Abby, I guess, will crouch down. Meaning that this is not only a no crouching run, but this is also a no healing run. Well, at least with medkits anyway. Yay! Also, I'm not allowed to pick up any bricks or bottles off the ground, because I would also be crouching to do that. In addition to that, I also cannot switch my weapons in this game, because when you do, the game forces Ellie and Abby into a squatting position. So whatever I'm given at the beginning of the game is what I'm stuck with. But just so I can have some kind of a fighting chance at making it through this challenge alive, I have also allowed myself to put infinite ammo on. Because gosh darn it, I'm not allowed to craft, heal, or even pick up a darn brick off the ground. You gotta give me something here, people! I am also playing the game on light mode. This is because I take less damage on light mode, and since my plan of attack usually involves charging headfirst at my enemies, losing as little health as possible is going to be important. Also, anytime I crouch in this game, I'm going to add 1 point to the fail meter. Anyway, now that we've established the ground rules, let's hop into this thing. So our journey begins with Ellie turning down breakfast.
Want to grab some breakfast?
No.
Ellie, don't you know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Now you take your bigot sandwiches and you eat them!
Bigot sandwiches.
Ow! What the fuck? I'm not even playing! Cause you're a chicken? You're a chicken!
I hate this kid so much. You wanna fuck him up? Yeah, I do.
Ma'am, those are children.
Holy shit!
You failed!
Yeah, so the game auto picks up the snowball at the start of the snowball fight with the kids. Fortunately, you can just stand there and get pummeled with snowballs for the rest of the fight, and listen to Dina verbally abuse small children until the kids win.
Your parents don't love you!
Meanwhile, Owen decides to drag me out into the freezing cold winter, where I once again come across another forced crouching section.
Congratulations, you're a failure.
But at least I don't have any more crouching sections for a while. Okay, well, at least now I should be good. Okay, but after that...
Failure!
Okay, that's it. We're done. We failed. It's over. Abby, why do I even try? I haven't even made it an hour into this game, and it has already forced me to crouch like 1,000 times. But I don't know, maybe Ellie's having a bit more luck.
Through here.
I can see why no one's attempted this challenge yet. So yeah, not only do I have to crouch once during this area, but I also get to do it twice. Thank you so much, Dina. Anyway, after enjoying a peaceful horse ride, making my way downtown on horseback, saw a dead moose going home fast. Na 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 na. There isn't too much to talk about the supermarket fight, aside from the fact that I realized that when you stealth kill someone, it automatically puts you into a crouch position, which I did not think about until this very moment. So I had to reload my checkpoint and shoot the infected instead. So when you hop out the window in the supermarket, the game forces you into a crouch position. However, I am not going to count any time that happens, as the game is technically forcing me into a crouch position. And if I were to count that, then I would absolutely never make it through this challenge without losing my mind. So after crawling under a truck and failing my challenge for the 14th time already, I get to crouch down and craft a med kit. Yes, you are forced to craft a health kit in this section. The game won't let you progress unless you make one. Fortunately, you don't have to use the med kit though, so at least I don't have to add 2 failures to the counter. Plus, I also found these health kits in a vending machine, so that's good. I'm not going to count Ellie getting crushed under the debris in this section, however, because I do consider this to be a cutscene. Anyway, Dina gave me a Molotov cocktail, which means I didn't have to craft it, but I didn't even use it during this fight, so who cares? I was able to easily shoot my way through the next supermarket fight, and then I crouched down 2 more times for good measure, and we busted out out of there. Fortunately, I didn't have to crouch during the rest of the Ellie sections. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about Abby, who just had to barrel crawl her way past the infected. Abby, you have infinite ammo turned on. Just shoot them! So anyway, after shooting my way through the ski lodge with my slightly above average aim, it was time for Joel to die.
You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
I am forced to crouch as Ellie one more time in the first section of the game, but all things considered, I'd say we are off to a tremendously bad start. So after reaching Seattle, I am once again forced to crawl my way under some debris, because why not? Anyway, after realizing that we need gas for the generator, we head over to the Dome building, where the game once again forced me into another crouching animation. Oh, come on, game! I mean, I'm not counting it, but still. Fortunately, when I jumped the fence, I landed in the standing position, so at least there's that. Man, this area is tedious. Skip! Well, that was easy. Alright, Dina, let's get going. Ellie? Please, Ellie. Just stay standing, Ellie! You know, when I was thinking about this challenge, forced in-game crouching sequences never crossed my mind. If they did, I'm pretty sure I would not be doing this. The basement fight wasn't anything to write home about, aside from the fact that Ellie technically trips over when getting out of the elevator, but I'm considering it a cutscene since she gets back up before I can control the character again. I'm also counting Ellie squatting down by the garage door to be a cutscene because, well, come on, guys. My crouching counter is already up to like 1,000,000 and we're not even 5 hours into the game. Also, Ellie was still standing while I was controlling her, aka holding the triangle button. So anyway, while we're heading back to the gate, Dina started droning on about her dream to own some farm. Me personally, my dream is to own a pizzeria. Then, after not shutting up about it for like an eternity, Dina just ignored my question.
So are we gonna, like, raise sheep and milk cows?
Well, that was an adventure.
Dina, I don't think you answered my question. Are we gonna raise sheep and milk cows? Answer the question! So Ellie kneeled down for a bit and made me cry. Now, here's the problem with opening the gate. I don't remember the code. Normally this would mean that Ellie would have to crouch down and get the code out of her backpack. But luckily, I have this great thing to help me prevent that hiccup. It's called Google.
It worked.
So I easily made my way through the Saravina Hotel and made a couple new friends. And yes, I'm counting this area to be a crouching section, because I technically am controlling Ellie in this scene. Boo! You suck! So after giving my friends a warm welcome, I stormed my way through the school, which I made my way through easy peasy. I did accidentally waste my only Molotov cocktail though. The fight on the roof went fine, Ellie crouched down one more time for good measure, but it's a cutscene so I won't count it, and I blasted my way through town like a total lunatic. I did get hurt a lot during this fight though.
Oh, quiet. You good?
No, Dina, I'm really not. So after I somehow managed to slide down the mud while standing, except I forgot to record it, sorry, we made it to the TV station. Well, not before I blasted my way through the area to avoid any crouching sections.
We're not being subtle right now.
I did, however, have to crouch down in one section of the TV station in order to progress, but otherwise I'd say it went relatively fine. I said relatively.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
So anyway, after a couple of forced crouching sections that remind me why I hate the train station so much, I just barely made it through the area alive because I literally ran straight into all of the clickers like an idiot. But miraculously, I managed to get through the area on my first try despite having absolutely no health whatsoever. I did have to crouch 3 more times though. Awesome.
I got you! I got you!
I'm sure he's fine. So the fight against the infected wasn't too bad. They're just giant balls of death coming straight for me, and I only had the tiniest schmeckle of health left. Yeah, what did you expect? On the bright side, dying did give me all my health back. Oh, easy mode. You are a delight. Then we got to my least favorite fight in the area.
Shit. Shamblers. We got this.
Oh yeah, we totally got this, Dina. I hate this area. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it!
Okay. I'm ready to get out of here.
Same.
You better believe I'm ready to get out of here!
Lead on.
Ellie, you klutz! Yes, I know she's technically laying on the ground, and I will count this area as a cutscene because I have to hit the square button.
Wow. Oh, Joel. We'd love watching a movie in this place.
Ellie, this is a theater. So anyway, after a dumb flashback whose only purpose was to force me into crouching a couple more times, it's time for day 2. The first fight area went way easier than I expected it to go. I wonder why that could be. Frankly, the entire Hillcrest area went really easy. But you know me, that's just how it goes with your everyday gamer girl. So I blasted my way through town like an absolute maniac, ran into Jesse, and shot down anyone that got in our way.
Flashback.
He's
Think you can fit in there?
Yeah, alright, I guess I'll crawl under the debris. Not like you could do it or anything. Yeah, I suppose I'll just kill all the infected too. And I guess I'm just gonna do this by myself too. I guess I'm just doing everything then. Oh yeah, sure. He gets the satisfaction of killing that thing. After I do all the work! Abby, where are you? I'll get the golf clubs.
End of flashback.
So after mowing down every infected that got in my way with these, the game forced me to crouch again while I was billy goating my way through the sewers. So despite the game forcing me into crouching again, I am not going to count this as I consider it to be a cutscene. Because if you've seen my knife-only playthrough, then you already know that I am a dodging master, and I would never let myself get hit by some measly arrow. However, as the archer did dishonor me by forcing me into a kneeling position, I decided to calmly and rationally massacre him and his friends. I also somehow managed to sprint my way through the second Scar encounter, which was honestly so impressive for me because I have literally never attempted that before. I have a feeling that playing on light mode was literally the only thing that made this possible, but still, I found it pretty funny. The fight in the hospital went super easy. I did take some damage, like a noob, but I managed to get through the enemies with few issues. Ow. Why? I am also playing the game on light mode. The first fight of day 3 was super easy. I managed to clump all of the enemies into a nice pile on the ground. And then Jesse, being the sadistic lunatic that he is, just casually strolls over the corpses. Jesse, you sick freak. So after crawling under a log and making me scream internally, we blasted our way through the WLF enemies, split up for a bit because Jesse was holding me back from my greatness, and I completely obliterated the enemies at the mall. And after annihilating the bloater in a matter of seconds, I went to enjoy a leisurely boat ride. And now we've made it to the aquarium. Screw you, game.
Stick 'em up. This is a robbery. Give me all your valuables. Put all the money in the bag. I'm robbing you. This is a robbery. Stick 'em up. Reach for the sky.
So anyway, now it's time for Abby's section of the game, which of course would not be complete without some more forced crouching. Damn you, flashbacks! So anyway, Manny woke me up while I was busy dreaming that I wouldn't have to crouch in this game anymore, and we headed off on our adventure.
Worth it, though?
Oh, absolutely. I can die happy now.
Oh, you can and you will! So the gang and I headed out to the store to pick up some more toilet paper. We were running low. Hey, you are not getting your hands on my toilet paper! That Charmin Ultra Soft is mine! Anyway, since I was forced to crouch during the car chase section, let's add that to the counter. Fortunately, I don't have to crouch during the rest of the infected areas, aside from when Abby is crawling through the wood, so that's good. Meanwhile, Abby is getting crushed by a shelf, but I am not going to count that. Nevertheless, come on, Abby! Use the power of your massive gains to heavy lift your way out of there! Anyway, after making my way through town and destroying some property just for the heck of it, we got to the Scar fight, which was literally the easiest thing ever. All I did to get past this area was snipe the enemies from a distance. Easy peasy. I was honestly pretty worried about the fight at the gas station considering the number of scars and lack of cover, but it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I did take a bit of damage though. Also, I just find it so funny that after shooting a woman and watching her scream in agony before she dies, Abby here just has a smile on her face, happy as can be. What a sick fuck. So after making our way to base with some minor injuries and what definitely should have been a miscarriage, Abby goes to talk to some friends.
That game good? Really hard. Oh, really good. Fucking video games.
Abby hates video games confirmed. How people can like this monster, I will never know.
Flashbacks of our memories. The past is my enemy, and I'm drowning.
I'm sorry, I was having a flashback.
So I make my way through town, and forced to lay on my back during the clicker section, shoot the clicker for getting in my way, and crouch down 2 more times for good measure. I then proceeded to sprint my way through the combat areas like a lunatic, which of course would not be complete without me having to crouch a couple more times. The fight in the woods was super easy. The fight against the big lady, no problem. The infected area annoyed the crap out of me, but I still haven't crouched down after all of that, so it's not going that horribly. So after I dropped the kids off and abandoned the girl with the completely shattered arm so I could go commit adultery, I got to the fight on the boat, which
which was honestly less of a fight and more of a massacre. Those poor zombies. So after crouching down a couple trillion more times, I've reached the shipping yard fight. Now last time when I did a knife-only challenge, this area annoyed the crap out of me and took me so many tries to get through. That was not the case this time. So after some more zigzagging around, I picked up the kids, we get attacked by a dog, and I asked Yara, who was just sitting there, to give me a hand, but oh. So Lev and I head off to get some medical supplies for Yara. I was able to blast my way through the infected, but getting out of the building without crouching was simply not possible. Because why should my life be easy? The first fight against the Scars went fine. Save for the fight on the roof.
Holy shit, Lev!
Oh please, Abby, don't be such a scaredy cat. It's completely safe, look! So I blast my way through the stalkers, turned the enemies downstairs into mashed potatoes, and made it through the building without crouching once. Aw yeah! So now here we are at the hospital. The clicker fight went simple enough, but I know you guys don't care about that. You want to know how I handled the Rat King. And that fight went fine. I mean, there's not much to say about it since I don't even need to crouch during the area anyway. And since I was playing on easy mode, it was especially simple. Also, since I've been stockpiling all my best weaponry I could use since I started playing as Abby in preparation for this fight, that made it extra easy. Same deal for the mini Rat King also. But you know, first I naturally had to crawl through some vents for a bit. Yippee! Onwards to day 3. So after a lot of walking and listening to some boring conversations,
Owen invited them to come to Santa Barbara. Why doesn't Lev want to go to Santa Barbara? We may fall for your little act with these kids, but I don't.
Okay?
Sometimes parents are held responsible for their children's sins.
Loves sharks but hates the ocean, huh?
She's on like this. I know.
We bonded over it.
You're a piece of shit, Abby.
You want to do right by these kids? Not
oh my gosh, I don't care! Lev steals a boat and sails off to the murder island.
Lev! Get back here! Lev!
Stop, don't come back.
How do we get to the marina from here?
Looks like we'll have to go around.
Or alternatively, we could just go home and pretend Lev doesn't exist. No? We're still going anyway? Okay. So after crouching down again, I reached the Tommy sniper section. Did I manage to get through this area without crouching? Yes. Did I lose all of my health in the process? Also yes. I unfortunately was forced to crouch down during the first area in the Tommy chase because, well, frankly, I would just die. But aside from that, the rest of the chase went fine.
Screw it.
Bang, bang, he shot me down.
So Yara and I got to the island. I introduced myself to the locals. I think I made a pretty good impression. We saw some random locals passing through, and sure, I could have been merciful and crouched down so they could pass peacefully, but not when I'm doing a no crouching challenge. The second Scar fight in the area was extremely easy. All I did was stand from afar and snipe the enemies. It was also pretty funny how one of the Scars bravely ran out in front of my gun and took a shot meant for their companion, effectively saving her friend's life. This is what a real hero looks like, folks.
Fuck. That was rough.
It really, really wasn't, Abby. So after finding Lev and a crime scene, we continued on our adventure, agreeing to never talk about this day again or where we buried the body. And after doing some more squats, we get to bury another body. Bye, Yara. And a couple more at the mall.
Oh my god. Is that Haven?
Yeah. What's left of it?
What? I don't see the problem. It looks no different than the education system. So I blasted my way through a war zone, proving that Abby is truly a one-woman army. I showed an absolute total disregard for human life as I sniped anyone who even dared to look at me the wrong way. I was, however, forced onto the ground again. I then took out the big Scar dude to a lovely restaurant for a romantic meal for 2. Don't worry, I found a babysitter for Lev. Unfortunately, Owen ended up ruining my date night by, you know, being dead and everything. Ugh, Owen, this is so typical of you. You just had to bleed to death tonight of all nights. So Abby goes to take out her frustrations on Ellie. This is what you get for ruining date night! Now, the Ellie fight was a bit tricky since stealth is kind of important in this fight. However, I was able to beat this area entirely without crouching down. I know, I'm amazing. Admittedly, I did die a couple times, but nevertheless, I prevailed. Basically, my secret was to slow creep up behind Ellie, and then when I got close enough, I started beating on her face. In the second stage, I literally just grabbed a bottle and lured Ellie into my area using the chains, and again, started beating on her face. And in the third stage, I chucked a bottle and stunned Ellie, but before I could get to her, I hilariously ran into a trap mine. Comedy gold. But on my second attempt, I managed to get her, and like always, I started beating on her face. Way to go, Abby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, sheep. Ooh, psychological issues. anyway, Abby gets captured by the Rattlers, Lev gets completely decked, and we're back to Ellie. So after doing some more crouching, because, well, we're at the end of the game, why not torture me one final time? Now we've reached the infected areas. This part was very easy. I was able to blast my way through the first area with few issues, and then just sprinted my way through the second section like the crouch-hating coward I am. But aside from that, getting through the infected was easy as pie. And I was confident that it was going to be all smooth sailing from here. So since during the cutscene Ellie got the silenced machine gun, that means that I no longer have access to my rifle, since remember I would have to crouch down to get that, which honestly really sucks because the rifle is much more effective in my opinion, but whatever. I just shotgun blasted my way through the first area and it wasn't too much of a problem. I do miss my scope though. The second area wasn't too bad. I just shot a couple of enemies and then retreated back into the building to stealth kill them, and it went pretty good. I only came out of it with 0 health left.
Nice.
So after 2 more rounds of crouching, I got to the hotel fight. Round 1, just shot a few of the soldiers and made a mad dash out of the area. Round 2, did not go so well. I was able to get through the area, however, I did stupidly die walking into a clicker like an idiot, but otherwise I die-harded my way through that area better than Bruce Willis. So after massacring my way through the camp and crouching one last time, cause this game hates me, I finally reached Abby. Nice pit hair. Anyway, I beat the living crap out of her using every ounce of fiber of my being. Finally, after all this time, after all this effort, after way more crouching than I would personally like to admit, now I can finally kill you. Oh, and she let her go. That's great. So, is it possible to beat The Last of Us Part 2 without crouching? Hell no! Did you not watch this video? In fact, this whole thing was such a failure, I don't even want to count out how many times I had to crouch in this game. But I did. Frankly, this is just embarrassing. The worst part is literally all of these are from the game forcing me into crouching and not because I can't actually get past a fight encounter without having to do it. However, if you do not count the game forcing you to crouch outside of the encounters and only look to see if you can beat the fights without crouching, then yeah, it's totally possible. I literally didn't even have to crouch at all during the fight encounters. But let's be real, playing the game on anything other than light mode while attempting this challenge would be kind of impossible. I even died in a couple areas playing on light mode because if the enemies corner you and all start shooting you at once, there's really not much you can do about it. But all things considered, I'd say this challenge is not possible to beat. But if you want to go and try it for yourself, go for it, and feel free to leave me a comment telling me about it. I'd honestly love to hear how it went for you. Otherwise, I'd say this one's a wrap, folks. Thanks for watching, and see you later.